Good morning, Geoffrey Howells Carpet Cleaning. We are out in Milwaukie, Oregon this morning. We're cleaning up a house for a realtor. I don't know if it's getting ready to show, but obviously there's people living in it, and we're prepping it up, making it look awesome. So that's what we're going to be doing. Going to be doing some encapsulation, or I'm sorry, we're not going to be doing encapsulation. We're going to do some light steam cleaning. As we go inside, there was an area rug sitting here, but I'm going to show you real quick. I did do some pre-vacuuming already, but just making some observations on the way in of what we are going to be doing here this morning. So as we come in, this is where the area rug was sitting, and with area rugs it's very common for dust to settle on top and drop right through the area rug, and that's exactly what we're looking at. Here is dust all over the floor, and we're going to be vacuuming that up, and we are going to be cleaning this room, which is all Berber carpeting. There are some spills and things of that nature in the Berber. You can see some over here, and I believe that there's one under this area rug. So typically I would really like just to pull out our CRB and encapsulate this, but I think it warrants a little bit of steam cleaning. And so what we're going to do is we are going to turn our PSI on the truck down to about 200 maybe at the most, just so that we're not getting this carpet wet. Now the funny thing about steam cleaning is that you generally don't get much steam at 200 psi, because it really takes a lot of water and pressure to keep that water hot all the way through the solution line to produce a lot of steam. So when you see a bunch of billowing steam coming out of a truck-mounted carpet cleaner's wand or whatever when they're working, it's generally because they got the PSI up to about 400 or more, and it is really getting those carpets wet. And in this scenario, we do not want to get the Berber carpeting really wet. We're just doing a quick extraction. We're going to try to, if anything gets really wet, it's just going to be these areas that we're trying to lift spills and things out of. But what we're going to do first is work on this area rug here. I've already vacuumed the front side. Now we're going to vacuum the back side, get free of debris. Sometimes I'm not going to treat the back side. I might go over it real quick with the wand just to give it a little bit of a rinse. And then on the front side, we're going to treat it with encapsulation solution. Steam clean the front side. Get this guy out of the way, and then we are going to do the encapsulation solution in here with the truck mount steam cleaning, again with the PSI down to about 200, just so that we're not oversaturating things. Okay, we're back inside. We got the hose and truck all hooked up and ready to go. It's probably been running for about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. It takes about 10-15 minutes to get everything heated up, but you can see it, there is a blast of steam. We only have it around 200 psi, so it's not going to get everything absolutely soaked, and there isn't going to be a ridiculous amount of steam billowing out all over the place either. But it will sanitize, neutralize, and get this area rug all cleaned up. Again, I like to do the back side, especially since dust settles on top and drops right through the floor, so there is probably a lot of trapped particles in between the front side and the back side, and I like to try to extract all that. As well as you can see those look like spills down here that went through, and of course I've got my feet from coming in from outside. I'm going to clean that all up, heading on, get that all cleaned up now that we're inside, and there's going to be no more going in and out. Got the booties back on. There's going to be a problem. Everything will be looking absolutely beautiful. After this is cleaned, set it aside and finish up with the floors in here using the encapsulation solution. Electric sprayer went out, so always keep a backup on your truck. Anything that you think might break while you're working and would cripple what you're doing, always try to keep a backup. I keep these cheap. I think I bought a 2-pack for like 18 bucks of just 1-gallon pump-up sprayers. They only have a life of about 6 months, but you know, that's a cheap price to pay for something that could potentially cripple you out on the job. So make sure you've got something to fall back on just in case. Okay, so we finished with the area rug, and unfortunately I've already began rolling it up. But as a tip, what I do is I kind of like put it in half like this, and then roll it up so that we're keeping the surface of the carpeting from touching the backing or the floor, and that will just keep it nice and clean. Basically, you don't want to store it like this because it'll put a nice crease down the middle, but we're just moving it into the other room. So we're just making it easier to carry, and then we'll go on cleaning the rest of the room. And one last thing that I forgot to point out on this area rug, it's sort of up close, it looks like wool, but it totally does not feel like wool to the touch. And on the underside, there is no tag or label notifying of what the material actually is. So I generally will always use a wool safe cleaning product just to make sure that there aren't any issues later on. Okay, here we are, Berber carpeting, completely steam cleaned. We got the spills and things out that were in there. And again, the PSI was about 200. We didn't over wet the carpeting. It should dry fairly quickly today. It's just barely surface wet, which is exactly what we wanted. And we also completed this area rug here, so we're going to begin, we're going to call it a wrap and begin hauling our equipment out of the house. Typically, a job like this, as far as setup and tear down, for me is roughly 2 hours. You know, that's about the average length of a job. And you know, some guys will probably get in here and get it done in 45 minutes. Kind of makes you wonder what they do, but you know, I do like to go slower, a slower pace, so like my body to relax as I'm working, and I like to do a completely thorough job. Just a little tidbit, Howells carpet cleaning. Have an awesome day, you guys.